So just taking a couple of breaths here, lying on your back. Allow yourself to separate this part of the day from everything else, whatever came before, whatever came after. Allow yourself just to hit pause here. And moving into your space tonight, know that yoga literally means union, the connection between your breath, your body, and your mind. So just being present with your breath. Allow yourself to breathe in a little bit deeper here. And let it go with some sort of sound, some sort of sigh. And then do that again. A big inhalation. And then an exhalation to let something go. And then start to stretch your arms and legs long. So arms up over your head, legs nice and long. Just a nice morning stretch here. Let everything get long. And then hug yourself into a tight little ball. Rock a little bit side to side, massaging the low back. And then reaching for that pillow that you can just put in between your legs today. You're going to take that pillow, make sure it's between your legs, and drop your body over to the left side. And so it's your knees, but it's also your left arm. Your right arm is going to come up and over. So you're kind of like clapping your hands together here. So you're completely lying on your left side. And then start to take your right fingertips and trace the floor. So you're reaching your right fingertips up and around your head and all the way open to the right side. And then just continue to make this huge circle. So the right fingertips will go back towards the left hand and then up and around. Do that 2 more times. Try to move really slowly here. The whole time, the left shoulder, the left hip stay rooted onto the floor. The right shoulder moves as the arm moves. The next time we do this, you're going to just trace up and around your head and allow your right arm to stay open to the right. You can keep your elbow bent like a goalpost or straighten the right arm. Let your gaze go up towards the ceiling, or if you want a little bit more sensation, out over your right shoulder. Just holding this position here. See if you can soften your jaw, soften your eyes. And then start to bring your right hand back towards the left hand. Draw your hands into your chest and then roll back to center with your knees. So knees come back towards your chest and then just drop all the way over to the right side. Knees down, right arm flops down, and then take your left arm up and over so you're kind of clapping the hands together with the arms extended. Start to trace the floor with your left hand going up and over your head, and then out to the left. And circle 3 more times. Go nice and slow with a sense of nowhere to go, nothing to do. Next time you come around, leave your left arm open to the left. It can be like a goalpost, bent elbow or straight. And then just try to soften here, letting the gaze be where it feels comfortable, up at the sky or out over the left shoulder. Release into this posture, melting into the floor a little bit more with each exhale. Noticing the quality of your breath as you continue to breathe in and out here. Not judging it, but just becoming aware of it. What does it feel like for you in this gentle twist position? And slowly start to bring your hands together towards your chest. And then bring your knees back up to center. You can remove that pillow, just place it to the side. Squeeze your knees to your chest here for a moment. Placing the hands on top of the shins. Start to make a little bit of resistance, putting some pressure into the hands with the shins. So the shins are pushing up into the hands are pushing down into the shins or maybe the top of the knees. And then on an exhale, drop your knees to the left again. Just for a moment, take a twist here. Come right back to center. Breathe in and then breathe out. Drop the knees to the right, open the left arm. And come right back to center. Extend both arms and legs up towards the ceiling. Holding here for a moment. Drop your left foot towards the floor, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and reach for that space between here, coming to figure 4, pigeon stretch. Just a few breaths here. We're gonna visit a couple different versions of pigeon tonight. And go ahead and release by extending your hands and feet towards the sky again. Legs and arms stretch out, and then drop your right foot down, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, reach for that space between with the left hand. Couple of breaths here. Slowly release, arms and legs back to the sky. And then happy baby pose. Hold on to your shins or your ankles. If you want to hang on to your feet, you can. But again, try to create a little bit of your own resistance in this happy baby. Pushing your feet up to the sky, simultaneously pulling down with your hands on your shins or ankles or feet. Just rock a little bit. And then bring your feet together, your knees together. Start to rock and roll the long way, just gently, a little spinal massage here. Come all the way up to a seat. Taking a cross-legged position. If that's not very comfortable on your hips, you can always sit up on that pillow you have. Take your arms high here, big breath in. Breath out to lean over to the right side. Let your left hip get really heavy as you continue to stretch over to the right. Good. Go ahead and come up. Look up at your thumbs. Breathe in. And then breathe out, lean over to the left. Let the right hip get really heavy. Good. Breathe in, reach up, look at your thumbs. As you breathe out, take a twist. Left hand to right knee, soften your shoulders. Let your head reach for the ceiling. And breathe in, reach your hands up again, look up at your thumbs. Exhale and twist to the left. Right hand on top of left knee, soft shoulders. Reaching up through the crown of your head. And breathe in, reach your arms up. This time, cactus your arms to the side, lift your chin, puff up your chest, tilt your elbows forward and your wrists back. And then continue to stretch your arms to the side, drop your chin to your chest, and then reach your hands behind your back. So with your hands behind your back, you're going to interlace your fingers. Take a big breath in, and then pull your hands to the right side. Let your left hand come to your right hip and drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Try to soften. Don't force it. Just see what you can do about relaxing into the pose here. Take a breath in and lift your head. Gently extend your knuckles away from your body. So straighten your arms behind you. Good. And then pull the hands to the left side. Back of the right hand on the left hip and drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. You can even close your eyes for the couple of breaths you're here. It sometimes helps relax the muscles of the face a little bit more. And extend your knuckles behind you. Take a big breath in, look up. And then breath out, bow down any amount, whatever your body can do. And as you do that, reach your knuckles a little higher. Drop your head a little lower. And then slowly just release your hands. Glide them in front of you here and roll over your shins so you come to a child's pose. Toes together. Knees apart, drop your head down. Just take a few exhales here, softening into your space. Good. Walk up onto your fingertips and then walk your hands off your mat to the right side. Left hand can be placed on top of right with your right ear dropping towards your right bicep. And walk your hands back to the center and all the way to the left. Stack your right hand on top of your left for a little more sensation. Drop your left ear towards your left bicep. And then crawl your hands back to the center here. Ripple your spine up. And come to a kneeling position, taking either that towel or that strap, whatever it is that you have. We're going to do what's called shoulder flossing here. So taking the strap and, or whatever you're using, your prop, and holding it a little bit wider than shoulders width. So if you're holding it here, it's going to be too much sensation. So hold it a little wide, take a breath in, lift up here. And then exhale, bend the elbows if you need to bring whatever it is that you're holding all the way back and down. And then breathe in, lift up. And all the way back over, exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up, do it again. Exhale on the way down. Again, this is just called shoulder flossing. We're going to take a couple more. The more tension you can put between the hands by pulling whatever it is you're holding apart, the more you're going to feel the openness here. And just do one more. Working that range of motion, the shoulders. Good. And then this time, we're going to take whatever it is that we're holding here. It might be a little tricky depending on what you're holding. You're going to lean over to the right. And then start to walk your hands down so they're touching. Let me turn that off. I'm so sorry, guys. There's like an alarm going off. So your strap or your blanket, whatever it is you're holding, you kind of lean over to that side, you bend that elbow behind you. You can rearrange your hands. Start to walk the hands as close together as you can. And as you do that, take a big breath in here. And then on your exhale, try to bow down. Really pull your top elbow forward as you do this. Don't worry about coming to the floor. It doesn't matter how far you go. Then go ahead and come back up. And then just unravel your arms. You can kind of roll out the shoulders as you do this. Okay, and then reach the arms back up. Tilt to the opposite side. So to the left side. Okay, and then bend that left elbow behind you. You can rearrange your hands so it makes sense in your body here. Right elbow and tricep just spinning forward. Good, and then try to walk the hands towards one another. Take a breath in as you pull that strap or blanket apart here. Exhale and pull the right elbow forward as the head bows down any amount. Yeah. Just keep reaching forward. One more breath. Good. Inhale and come back up. As you exhale, unravel, just release your shoulders. You can drop that strap to the side for now. And then from here, come to hands and knees. Hands and knees, lift your hips high, come to a downward facing dog. Just take some movement here, bending one knee and the other, letting the head drop. Good. Look forward and come back to hands and knees. And take a couple rounds of cat-cow. So inhaling, dipping the belly down, lifting the gaze and the tailbone. Exhaling and rounding, doming your upper back, chin towards your chest. Do that 3 more times. Inhale, lift the gaze. Good. Exhale, round. So moving just like a cat. Let go of all the air, how they dome their back. And then taking a nice big inhalation for the cow tilt, heart pulls forward. And then from this position, start to come to a hands and knees pose with the back flat. We're going to come into something called puppy dog pose. You want your hips to stay over your shoulder, or your hips to stay over your knees. And just walk your hands forward here and let your heart melt down. Try to keep your gaze forward if you can. If that's not possible, drop your forehead down to the floor. This is a back bend. It's a big shoulder opener. Good. One more breath. And use your belly muscles to just drag your hands back, come back to that table position. Yeah, good. From here, take your right hand out to the side, breath in and breath out, just thread it underneath. You can extend your left hand forward and press both hands, back of the right hand, palm of the left hand into the floor. Breathe into your shoulders. Expand that space there. Good. Start to unwind, bringing your left hand in, unraveling your right arm. You can take an arm circle or 2 if that feels good. Nice. And then let your right hand come down and set up for the second side. Left arm to the side, breathe in. And then as you breathe out, lace your left arm underneath your right. Extend your right hand forward. Press into both hands. equally. So the back of the left hand, the palm of the right hand. Breathe into your shoulders. Good. Go ahead and unwind, drawing your right hand in, your left arm up. Take any motion that feels good to release that shoulder. Good. And then we'll come into praying child's pose. If you want, you could use your pillow for this, or you could just put your elbow tips on the floor. What you're going to do is bring your knees close together and then come into a prayer position with your hands. Your head drops down. If it's more comfortable to put your elbows on a pillow, or if some of you have a bolster, you can use that. Just a couple breaths here. Really try to walk the elbow points a little forward. Yeah. And if it takes a moment for it to feel good, that's okay. Just press the palms together and maybe even explore some movement with the hands. You can kind of karate chop back and forth if that feels nice. See if you prefer the thumbs to be close to the base of the neck, or if you prefer the hands more upright or towards the floor. There's no right or wrong. Start to release this posture. And coming up, you can keep that pillow, or if you have a bolster in front of you, just slide it forward, hands to the floor again. One more down dog. And just pedal out again. Feel how much more open the shoulders feel. Start to get a little bit of activity in the legs. So just pedaling. Okay, drop back to your knees. We're going to take some hip circles. So bringing, I'll turn this way so you guys can see. Bringing your right knee in, out, and then back. Just start to rotate around. A little bit of movement. Okay. One more time this direction. And then pause, knee in, and go the opposite direction, back to the side, in. Back to the side, in. Okay, just one more time. And then take your right leg and just step it to the outside edge of your right hand. Start to walk your hands forward here. If you want to bring your forearms to the floor, to a pillow, or to a bolster, go ahead and do so. Coming to a lizard lunge. And yogi's choice what you want to do in this lizard lunge. You can just keep pulling the heart forward, or you can twist a little bit, pressing the thigh open. You could even reach back if you want, depending on your range of motion and flexibility. You could reach back and maybe hold on to that back foot. That's a little bit more intense, but just going to take about 12 breaths here, so softening. Again, there's no wrong posture. It's just the one that helps you open your hips, helps you unlock whatever gripping or holding you're experiencing in that area tonight. Which maybe it's a lot, maybe it's a little. A few more breaths. Crawl your hands back in and just sit your hips back straight. Your right leg, flex your toes a little bit. And then just bounce forward and back. Good. Again, forward and back. Take one more. Bounce forward and back. And then from here, we're going to go right into pigeon pose. So gliding your right foot towards your left wrist, your right knee towards your right wrist. Extend your left foot back. And see if this feels okay for you. You can just close your eyes and hold here, or you can walk your forearms down. Again, if you have a prop in front of you, you can rest your head on that prop. I'm just going to be here for 5 breaths, not too long. Pigeon is a big, big hip opener. It gets deep into the glute. See if you can soften the jaw as you hold this just for another moment. Good. Slowly walk your hands in. Push the floor away from you. As you curl your back toes under, just take your right leg out and find a down dog again. If you want to lift up that right leg and wiggle it around, you can. Otherwise, you can just pedal out. Notice if your right leg feels any longer than your left. Good. And then drop to hands and knees. And we'll take those hip circles on the left side. So bringing your left knee in towards your chest, out to the side and around. Good. In, out, around. One more time this direction. And pause with the knee in towards the chest. Take it back to the side and in, back to the side and in. One last time. Just lubricating that hip joint. Good. And then step your left foot to the outside edge of your left hand. Move yourself into a lizard that suits you. Kind of mimicking what you did on the opposite side is a good idea. So if you're on your forearms, you can stay there. If you stayed on your hands or took a twist or reached for the foot, you can do whatever feels good and you can explore. What we're looking for is just the openness in the hips, a softening, a surrendering. It sometimes can be the hardest thing for us to do because we're continually in a mode of problem solving and task accomplishing throughout the day. So surrendering, softening can feel so unfamiliar. Just allow yourself to take a couple more breaths here, letting go. Maybe making your exhalation a little longer. Good. Slowly walk your hands in. And as you do, push your hips back. Start to straighten your left leg and your mouth. Flex your left toes. And then just take that organic movement where you pull forward and then pull back. Good. A few more times. Seeing if you can kind of slow down the movement. Notice the subtlety of what's opening. And one last time here. And this time as you come back to a bent knee, push weight into your hands so you can slide your left foot towards your right wrist a little, your left knee towards your left wrist, and wiggle that right foot way back. Pigeon pose. It's a really deep hip opener, glute opener. Walk onto your forearms. If that's enough, just close your eyes and settle in here. If we want to go further with the head down, by all means, you can do that as well. Once again, just surrendering, softening. What can you turn off that does not need to be working right now? Good. Slowly walk your hands back in. And then start to push the floor away from you as you make your way back to another down dog. Just see if your legs feel even. You can wiggle the left leg out if you need to. Lift it up, circle it around, pedal out. And then come to hands and knees again. And this time, just swivel your legs around so you can come to a seated position. Okay. So in your seated position, you may want your strap close by. Just depends. Okay, so taking a nice seated position here, bring your right foot in towards your left thigh. And reach your arms tall. And then slowly forward bend here. Hold on to whatever you can. And if it seems really far away to hold on to something, you can take that strap that you have and maybe wrap it around the foot. It's not necessary, but it might make it feel nicer if you want it. Try whatever it is you're doing to do a little bit less. Let gravity work here. So letting the gaze, if the eyes are open, be right off the tip of the nose. Kind of looking towards your big toe or maybe your ankle. And slowly come up. Switch sides here. Just switch out. Right leg extends, left foot in towards right thigh. Reach up again, breathe in. And as you breathe out, fold forward. Maybe use your strap if you want. Around the foot. Whatever helps you soften. Try to soften the shoulders again, moving into doing less. Gaze softly off the tip of the nose. And slowly come up here. Take your legs long and let them be really, really relaxed. Okay, so not flexing the feet or anything like that. And take your pillow, or maybe multiple pillows. If you have more, put them on. You want a nice, pretty high stack here, or bolster if you have it. And just reach up and then forward fold. And if you're lucky enough to be pretty high, just let yourself drape down here. Let yourself be supported by whatever it is that is underneath your belly and your chest. And you can turn your head to one side. So just simply letting your head turn to one side. You'll take 5 breaths like that. And let your arms be really, really soft. Softening all the way down to the fingertips. Good. Stay in the position, but just switch the direction of your head. So just turning it the opposite way. Softening. Again, a little bit more with each exhale. What can you let melt away? And slowly roll yourself up. Okay. And then from this position, just take whatever pillow you have and put it to the left side of you. Bend your right knee. Put it behind you. Keep your left leg long. Reach your arms up and twist to the left. And just walk your hands forward. We're just going to take 5 breaths here. So you can let your head come down to your forearms. If you're using a bolster, you can let it hold your chest up. We're really stretching the outer and the inner rotators and hips today. And slowly push yourself up. And we'll just switch sides. So release the right leg, take your pillow or your bolster, whatever it is you're using, to the opposite side. Bend your left knee. And then take your arms up, twist to the right, walking the hands forward, either draping the chest down or maybe letting the forehead come to the forearms. Let yourself take a few breaths to release here. It's a twist, but it also kind of should get into the IT band a little bit on the right leg, maybe even the outer left hip. And slowly come up. Unwind the spine and take both legs forward here. Come to butterfly pose, bring the soles of the feet together. Draw them in towards the pelvis here as close as you can. And try to take your hands to your feet, open them up like a book. If this feels like a big stretch for you already, just close your eyes and hold on to your feet. But if you can, tilt your head and your heart forward. Let your elbows rest into your legs. See if you can allow your feet to kind of energize towards one another a little bit to help open up the low back. Slowly, like a cat back, round and push yourself up and start to roll your shoulders back. You can extend your legs long again. Good. Just roll, roll, roll. Keep your pillow close by. And one more thing before we get to lie down. Bring your hands behind you. Just bring your feet hips width distance apart or a little bit wider. You're going to come into a reverse table. So if you bring your fingertips and point them towards your body and puff your chest, and this feels like a big stretch, I want you to keep your hips on the ground and just let your head tilt back. But if you want more sensation, lift your hips up, let your head go back. Reverse table pose. Good, and then slowly make your way down all the way to your back. So if your hips are up, lower them down. And then slowly melt your spine down to the floor. Just let your legs sway side to side here. Good. Wiggle your feet as wide as your mat. If you're not on a mat, you want your feet to be outside of your knees. So when you look at your legs, your heels should be a little bit wider, almost like a W shape. You're wider than your knees. And then drop your knees to the left. You should start to feel a stretch on the upper and outer right thigh. If it's intense, stay here. If you want more sensation, stack your left foot on top of your right thigh. And if you still want more sensation, reach your arms up, maybe hold on to opposite elbows. Continue to let that right knee drop. If you're holding on to your elbows, just release them to the side. Let your hands reach back for your heels as you unwind your legs. Let your feet be a little bit wider than your knees again. So if you're working on a mat, feet on the outer edges of the mat. And then drop your knees to the right. Notice the sensation in the front and outer left hip. If it's a lot, stay right here. If you want more, just stack your right foot on top of your left thigh. Let your left knee drop. And this could be plenty for you, but if you want more sensation, reach the arms up overhead. Hold on to opposite elbows for even more sensation. And then try to soften as much as you can. And letting gravity assist you. Slowly unravel your arms and then bring them down to your sides. Uncross your feet and just windshield wiper your legs side to side. Okay. Wiggle your feet together, or not completely together, but more together than they were, so they're hips width distance. We're going to come into a very gentle bridge pose. So just push into your feet, lift your hips up. If you want to walk your hands underneath, interlace them, and walk your shoulders underneath, puffing your heart up more, you can. But otherwise, just hold the hips up. A couple breaths here. Good. Slowly, one vertebra at a time, let your spine come down, let your hips come down. And then we'll do one more bridge pose, this time supported. So bring your pillow close by you and lift your hips back up. And if you like the sensation of holding yourself up, by all means, stay here a few breaths. But otherwise, just reach the pillow underneath your body. I highly recommend just letting this be a very gentle bridge pose. It might not even feel like a bridge pose once you let the hips melt down into the pillow, but that's okay. Just a little lift is all we need. And then we want the benefits of an inversion without the work tonight. So just bring your knees to your chest with your hips resting on that pillow, knees towards the chest. Let your legs float up here. And don't have any sense of needing to do anything with your legs. Just let them be up. If they feel like moving, like they're swaying in the breeze, like tree branches, let them sway if that feels good. You want to almost like paddle your feet like you're kicking through water, you can do that. Or if stillness is more of what you're craving, just let yourself enjoy the stillness. And bringing your knees back to your chest if they're not already there, just squeeze them in. And then bring the feet back to the floor. Slide your pillow out from underneath you and re-roll your spine back down to the floor super slowly. Okay, roll to one side. Make this really gentle. Roll to one side. Use your arms to push you up just enough so you can slide your pillow underneath your back. So your pillow, if it's at the bottom of your shoulder tips, that's probably best. If it's too low, this won't feel nice. So make sure the pillow is up high enough, at least middle back or a little higher, to help broaden through the chest. Just cactus your arms to the side here. You can let your legs do what feels comfortable. They can flap open to the side with the soles of the feet together like a butterfly pose, or if you want your feet flat on the floor with the knees bent, you can do that. Or even legs straight. Just cactus the arms, a few breaths here, opening the heart and the chest area. This area that gets closed off, not just from the environment of being a little bit colder outside of the season, but also the stresses of the day. This is the area that we start to protect, kind of keep safe by closing off. Not because we don't want to be available, but just because it's a natural way to guard ourselves, to keep ourselves kind of turning inwards. So taking a few breaths with the chest open here, the heart open, the throat open. See if you can make your breath a little bit deeper, slower. Feel that expansion. Do just a couple of movements here to aid into some final shoulder opening. So reach your arms up towards one another and then interlace your hands. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling. Yeah. Just hold here for a moment. The hands engaged. Start to drop the hands behind your head with the hands interlaced. And then release your arms like a cactus at your sides. And then start to give yourself a hug with your right arm on top of the left. Hold on to opposite shoulders and take 3 deep breaths here. One more full deep inhalation. Nice soft and long exhalation. And then just melt your arms to the side again. Pause with them in a cactus position. And then reach the hands up towards the ceiling one more time. Interlace them, turn the palms up towards the sky. And slowly as you exhale, drop the hands behind your head. Release your hands, cactus your arms to the side, and keep your arms moving so your left elbow crosses over your right. Give yourself a hug. Hold on to opposite shoulders. You might walk your fingertips a little bit more behind your back if you can. Close your eyes if they're not already and take 3 deep breaths. Wrapping yourself in all this goodness, self-care, and love. Feel nurtured, feel supported, feel safe. Slowly melt your arms to the side again, a cactus position here. This position is very comfortable for you. I want you to stay in it for Shavasana. Shavasana is our final rest pose. If you would like to adjust yourself to a different position for Shavasana, lying down flat or putting your legs up the wall or up on a chair, you can do that. I would recommend that too. So take a few moments here to decide if you would like to change your position. And if so, go ahead and do so. One way you could change it is just by sliding the pillow up to your head. Or taking no change at all. As you rest here, I'll guide you through a little bit of breath work. If it feels good, stay with it. If for some reason it does not, just simply resume natural breathing at any point. Go ahead and exhale out all the air here. And then take an inhalation for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1.
Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. This time, inhale as deeply as you can and suspend and hold the breath in at the apex. Sip in a little bit more air if you can. And then an open mouth exhale, a sigh. Let yourself completely release and relax here for the next minute or so. As you continue to rest, I have a little quote for you from this book called Believe. It says, "Believe that life is sacred. Listen to your life. See it for the fathomless mystery that it is. Touch, taste, smell your way to the holy and hidden heart of it, because in the last analysis, all moments are key moments, and life itself is grace." Soaking in any sense of goodness, pleasure, of well-being that you cultivated during this practice. Let it just absorb into each cell of your body right now, allowing yourself to carry it with you into the evening and into the rest of your week. Slowly start to make movements in your hands and your feet. Rock your head a little bit from side to side. And stretch your arms up over your head and move your legs around in a way that suits the Shavasana position that you're in. Eventually hugging your knees to your chest, rolling to one side. Just pause here for a moment of stillness and of gratitude. And then use the strength of your arms to come to a comfortable seat. And gather your hands in front of the heart space here, resting your thumbs on your sternum, bowing your head down, acknowledging the grace in this moment, the sacredness of your life, and the gratitude that you have just for being alive today. Hopefully it is a gift. Together we'll seal in the benefits of our practice with the breath, so go ahead and exhale out all the air. Take a big nourishing breath in and let it go. Thank you so much for joining me and one another this evening, everyone. Namaste. Hope you feel good. Feel free to turn your mics back on and say hello or ask questions if you have any.
Thank you, Mary.